Today, I'll focus on Prisma Access Browser, talk about certain capabilities that browser brings in, um, focus on why you need browser, and then later on, I'll dive deep into um, the demo of how Prisma Access Browser looks and what the user experience is like. So with that, let me share my screen. With that, let's start it. So today, it's a web-first world, and it has transformed in the way you work today. Um, primarily Primarily, most of your work or productivity at any organization happens within the browser. Um, but the browsers themselves are also vulnerable. And over the last 12 months, we have seen almost 95% of the organizations have reported a breach originating from the browser. And around 345 new vulnerabilities were discovered just within last 1 year. Um, With browser, you get a lot of widespread benefits, and it helps you solve a lot of use cases for use of SaaS, web apps, Gen AI apps. Um, and the usage for all of these apps increasing every day. Um, However, with the use of productivity and browser, organizations usually lack visibility and the control for the user actions in these applications. And with more than 60% of the traffic remaining encrypted, leaving the security solutions blind to the traffic. The third big trend is the increase in bring your own devices and third party devices. So while the employees and the third party devices are leveraging unmanaged devices to get work done faster and enjoying the agility, but there are still the vulnerability that lives out there and not having the control. And the fact is, approximately 85% of the successful ransomware compromises happen from the unmanaged devices. And in addition to these challenges, organizations need to provide a security solution that employees love and it does not hinder any productivity. Um, that is where we have Prisma Access Browser come into play. It was because of these trends and challenges that created the need of Prisma Access Browser. Um, Prisma Access Browser helps serve for any's, meaning it is for any users, be it your employees, contractors, or third parties, from any device, be it managed or unmanaged, um, any location, which is home, office, hybrid workforce, any remote location that you can think of, and using any web application, which includes applications using SSL certificate pinning. And why is Prisma Access Browser unique? It is a local browser, just like Chrome, Edge, and Safari, running on your employee's machine. It is based off of a Chromium, and it gives you the browser experience that you know and love. Working with any website and any extension, a huge advantage versus other security tools. Um, And a key requirement for unmanaged device use case is that your users can install it without admin privileges. And it is not only the enterprise browser natively integrated with the SASE solution to provide the organizations the unified visibility across all devices, managed and unmanaged. And it has also the ability to apply a single policy across all applications, be it your SaaS app, private apps, just from an unified console. Um, Prisma Access Browser is available for Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, and we also have an extension version to allow faster onboarding. Now, for the first time, you can unleash the power of the browser to secure the work on any device, both managed and unmanaged. It is purpose-built for hostile environments, meaning isolating the browser from the endpoint It provides a secure workspace, so you no longer have to worry about untrusted devices. In addition to that, the browser collects insights for threat hunting and forensics. Secondly, instead of only seeing and protecting 40% of your activity in the web and SaaS apps, you can now see all user actions in all apps and all of that while providing a delightful user experience. The browser also delivers comprehensive frictionless security, which users cannot bypass. And they benefit from maximum uptime and productivity tools that deliver 5 times the faster application performance. A secure browser is as good as the security engines that it leverages. This is a unique differentiator for Prisma Access Browser versus other enterprise browsers in the market. It is the most important consideration for any organizations when considering an enterprise browser from a security and compliance perspective. Prisma Access Browser leverages the power of precision AI. Every day, we analyze close to 4.6 billion events gathered from over 70,000 customers. And with the help of precision AI, we can detect 2.3 million new and unique attacks, detect and prevent 237,000 new and unique malicious files, and also 347,000 new and unique malicious URLs every day. All of this just from the browser itself. Now, talking about some of the key use cases that customers have are to pertaining towards third party and contractors, bring your own devices, and use cases that were hard to achieve in the past with other tools. Um, so with third party, like you could have M&A situations, call centers. It helps you lower the cost of shipping of laptops, reduction of VDI, um, enforcing seamless security irrespective of which device the user is connecting from. Now, let's talk about um, Prisma Access Browser's capabilities, which is providing a secure environment to enable work on any device, the last mile data and identity controls, and the first workspace to create an environment that users and IT enjoy to use. Now, before we dive deep into all of these unique capabilities, this is just an overview of what the browser can do um, in all of those three buckets that we just spoke about, right? So like when we talk about secure environment, it has protection against device posture, a keylogger protection, scrapers, anti-tampering, last mile data controls being typing guard protection, clipboard protection, to name a few, and user first workspace being access to SSH RDP through the browser, app acceleration, the autonomous DEM capabilities built right within the browsers itself. Now, with that, let me just skip a couple of slides here, and we will talk more about on all of these capabilities, which is for secure. Let's start with secure environment. Now, as I spoke about earlier, Prisma Access Browser is built for hostile environments, enabling the running of the browser on any untrusted devices. It can be installed by any user on any device without any admin privileges. And with the help of that, the browser also help protects against malware on the endpoints, um, hardens the browser from and isolates from the workspace itself. It protects you against any web-based attacks. It does by reducing the attack surface and blocking the malicious extensions. Customers also benefit from threat hunting and forensic tools that gives you the visibility into attacks and user errors and provides the insights to take the action. The secure environment is fortified by Palo Alto Network's security engine. Um, I mentioned the sheer power of these engines earlier. Um, the Advanced Wildfire is the industry's largest cloud-based malware prevention engine. It analyzes over 12 billion unique files a year, and Advanced URL filtering is the industry's biggest AI-powered threat intelligence database, with the most advanced phishing protection engines. It blocks over 41 billion malicious URLs a year. And lastly, we have advanced threat prevention or advanced threat protection, which helps with protecting with in real time against any evasive threats or command and control kind of capabilities um, that you may see in the wild. Now, let's take a closer look at the last mile data and identity controls. So for last mile and data and identity protection, Prisma Access Browser helps broaden your zero trust access to the end devices. This helps you protect all users and device attributes, all web application, any actions and last mile actions. And with help of Palo Alto's leading data classification engines, it helps you with protection of data extraction as well. It has additional capabilities for step-up MFA, just-in-time access, and all of these can be applied across any applications and across all controls that you can imagine. The policy framework within the Prisma Access browser is based on the zero trust concept. Um, every rule is based on a very granular user group, device posture, web apps, and additional attributes that you can configure within the policy. You will be surprised at how easy it is to set up these policies. Um, typically, as per the feedback that we have gotten from the customers, um, we claim that the setting up policies within the system, it is 50% simpler than our closest competitor or setting any firewall rules. When it comes to last mile data protection, we cover all actions in all apps. From ensuring only authorized users log into these corporate applications from the browser, and along with that, thorough copy paste protection to watermarking, everything done through the browser itself. Um, Customers also enjoy additional data protection through Palo Alto's leading data classification engine. It offers over more than 1,000 data classifiers built right inside the box. And it also has capabilities such as OCR, exact data match, predefined compliance profiles such as HIPAA, PII, GDPR, PCI, and more. And one another important topic is how we protect the files. The Prisma Access browser ensures that the downloaded files are only viewable from the sanctioned devices and applications. For example, a file that a user may download from Salesforce with conditional information will be automatically encrypted on the OS. And only when you upload to a sanctioned corporate application in the browser will the file be decrypted and viewable. So you are not concerned about files at rest anymore. And now when it comes to the user workspace, we made sure to build a solution that both users and IT will love. Um, one that will be easy to implement and manage and will boost your productivity. You and your users can enjoy all apps, access to all apps with 5 times the faster app performance and the ease of integrated apps in your workspace. Now, talking about how the Prisma Access browser operates. Um, so when a user logs into Prisma Access browser, you can route all your traffic from the browser directly to the internet. Um, And in this scenario, we still continue to apply the CDSS capabilities that are provided by Palo Alto Networks for when the user is accessing any SaaS or internet access. The another option that you have is to route all traffic through Prisma Access, which basically allows you to access private applications via service connection or ZTNA connector, and also provide additional layer of security at the same time. So with that, let me move into the demo itself. So here I have two different browsers. One is the Prisma Access browser, and one is Microsoft Edge on the left. Um, so as you can see, if I'm a user on an unmanaged device, and if I try to access a corporate application or a SaaS app, which is outside of Prisma Access browser, you can enforce IDP in this scenario wherein the user will be forced to use Prisma Access browser and they cannot use any other browser for accessing, be it your private applications or be it your SaaS apps. Now, here, once I get to the browser itself, the very first thing that you notice is the browser customization. So you can customize the browser and tailor it to what the experience that you want to provide to the users. Now, apart from that, you can also give the ability for the users to customize the browser the way they want. So if a user is logging in for the first time, they will be presented by the Prisma Access onboarding screen for the browser itself, where it will take you through a couple of steps um, for providing the profile photo, what is the browser color that they want, um, help with importing bookmarks and settings if they are migrating from any of the other browsers to Prisma Access browser. Some notifications on learning of what are the different kinds of policies that the apps have implemented. And lastly, how to manage the account, where to manage the account from, and so on. And with that, they should be able to start the browsing. Now, that brings you to the home screen where you could provide notifications on the right. These are customizable by the admin to provide any notifications uh, to the users in terms of what's going to happen when they're in next couple of days, or if there are any upgrade schedules and so on. Those messages can be put in here. You can also create different kinds of multiple shortcuts that for any corporate applications that user can just click on the tile and access them. Since I was already logged in, I could not show the device posture, but you can always check your posture status in terms of what are the different posture that the user is matching or failing. And you should be able to see these information as well, right from the admin screen. Um, with that, now if I try to, so I have a user that is logged into Salesforce, or basically let's start with here. I'm trying to log into my corporate app. The first thing that you can see is in the Omni box that we have, you can modify these labels to call out business, a risky app, whatever you might want. We have some predefined labels, or you can create customized labels for the apps that you have configured. Now, when you click on that, you get to see, the user get to see what are the different kind of policies are implemented for this. So here, as you can see, one is the login restriction, wherein the user only coming from these two domains can log into Salesforce. So this is one of the capabilities that helps you from preventing users logging into their personal account from the browser itself. And they are forced to only use corporate emails to log into a certain application. So be it your Gmail, be it Office 365, you can do some kind of tenant restrictions from the browser itself. You have data masking, there are some file download restrictions, you can do screenshot protection and so on. And lastly, you have clipboard protection for sensitive information, or you can just blanket block it, right? So now to talk about login restrictions. So if I try to go to using my personal account, you would first be seeing you are not allowed to log in, right? Because we have login restrictions here. Now, there are multiple different ways wherein you can warn the user, wherein they can simply get blocked from logging in, or else you can give them the option to proceed anyway. And this comes with multiple different options, from asking permissions to providing reason before they can proceed on to doing certain actions. Here, I'm going to use my account to log into the Salesforce. Now, when I log into my account here, the very first thing that you see is data masking. So since we have data masking enabled for credit card numbers, you see this data masking capability right in here. And the way we have set up is to only allow last 4 digits to be exposed. So there are settings available to the admins wherein they can completely mask the data or partially show the data, be it last 4 digits or last 6 digits and so on. So you have that customization available. You can notice that you have data masking continuing across the screens as well. Now, if you want to, you can provide additional capabilities to the users where they can go in and unmask the data for the credit card numbers. So when they come in and unmask the data here, they will be able to see the credit card numbers as well. Now, since we have clipboard protection, you can basically configure it in a way wherein if they try to take this data, sensitive data, and try to paste it, let's say, outside of Prisma Access Browser, they will not be able to do that because we have block copy paste protection outside of Salesforce. However, you can also do additional capabilities wherein you can allow transfer of data between applications which are open within Prisma Access Browser. But as soon as they move it outside those applications or outside that policy, copy paste protection will be blocked. Same thing, you have typing guard protection, wherein if I try to type in SSN, we have sensitive data detected, and we have an option that has been set up where we say that send permission request. So when they click on send permission request, the admins get the notification on somebody is asking for a permission to do certain activity, and the admin can define that to do allow it maybe for one time or block it, or let them do it for maybe a specified time frame. So you have those capabilities and granularity available as well. Same thing with copy paste protection, wherein we had credit card number copied, and when I try to paste that same data, you get the same pasting data is not allowed here since ChatGPT is a risky app. Now, talking about files, you have, sorry, let me log in here. So once I log into Box, so I spoke about file protection and the file download being encrypted, right? So here, when I try to download a file, we will first send it to the scan engine. And as you can see, it has some sensitive data because of which we have blocked the file from being downloaded. Um, Now I have another file type here. As you can see, we have again blocked this file because at this time around, we found the file to be malicious, because if you have the policy set for sending the file into sandboxing, which is our advanced Wi-Fi capability, we will scan the file. Depending on the verdict, we will allow or block the file itself. Now let's see if I can download a file. Okay, sorry. Let's see. Okay, I think most of the files here. Unfortunate. So currently it's completely blocked, but if you download a file, usually it would be with this encryption that the file download will not go through. And the log sign basically shows that the file is encrypted. Let me see what data here. Here, I can download this file. I'd like to show that. So this is another capability if which is a step-up MFA wherein you can ask the user to provide an authentication before they can download a file. And and this can be done with multiple different capabilities with detecting sensitive data and so on. Now, since we have downloaded the file as I was talking about, this is a docx file, as you can see, but we have encrypted the file. And if you try to open it locally with any of the applications, you can see you cannot read the file at all. Now, since the file is encrypted, it can only be opened up with Prisma Access Browser. And since we have integration built with Microsoft Office, we are able to basically decrypt the file and redirect the file to open within Microsoft Office 365. Now, if you do not have Office 365, the file will open locally within the browser itself, and it will be viewable to you. Um, Talking about risky websites or restricted websites, you can present with a block page or a restricted website page when the user tries to access a restricted website. And along with that, you can just simply block it or allow the user to request for permissions, depending on the user group, or device group if they need access to these websites. And right from the box, you can also do RDP and SSH access with the help of our privileged remote access capability, which works with Prisma Access Browser here. Wherein now, when I am trying to access this website, as you can see, since RDP and SSH access is for um, private applications, you can do watermarking on the login screen. You can continue to do watermarking across multiple different screens. And once you log in, if the user has any predefined apps, they will be able to just launch those applications from right within the browser. And as you can see, we are blocking pasting of data. So the user gets the notification where they cannot paste the data, but still be able to access um, the Windows server or the SSH server at the same time. Now, if they want, they can also define their own applications for RDP, SSH, or VNC if there are any certain applications that they access. Now, with that, I'll move to the admin screen for Prisma Access Browser to show some logs. And so this is the admin UI for Prisma Access Browser. When you open the Prisma Access Browser landing page, you are presented with the home screen where it gives you an overview of the number of active users, the different active devices, what were the activities that has happened. So it's an overview of um, different events that has taken place across the organization. Within the events, you get to see different logs for different users for any activity that has taken place when the user was accessing. So you can put in filter for different users, applications, and so on. And at the same time, you can basically anonymize the logs, wherein you do not get any personal information in the logs if you choose the logging capability to be anonymized. Or else you can do enhanced logging, which also helps with um, a screen recording of the activity that the user would have done, like in cases like DLP controls and so on. Let's see if I can bring up my user here. Think I might be connected to a different tenant, because of which it's not pulling my username here. Let's see. However, continuing on, you have devices and device groups, which helps you define the posture checks. You can define it for mobile devices. You can do it for the browser. You can look at OS versions, different device types. So you could have multiple different forms of device posture configured. Um, you can allow certain extensions or block the extensions. This is a holistic view into what are the different extensions that the users have installed. So basically, you have 973 devices where you have ad blocks installed and so on. So if there are any unique extensions you see and you want to block the user from using it, you can take these extension IDs and block them in the policy itself. Um, Now, talking about the policies here, you have different policies that you can configure to be part of Prisma Access Browser, and define sanction, unsanctioned, and so on in any of these capabilities. I think this is around tenant I am in, where I would like to show. So okay, so going back to Prisma Access Browser here and looking at the events. So as I was talking about screen recording, you can click on it, you can play, and it will show you a recording of the activity that the user was doing, um, along with the mouse tracking as well. Going back to the policies itself, there are three different buckets from the policy standpoint, which is access and data control, security, and customization. Access and data controls help with granular policies for allowing access, blocking access, and putting in all different controls that I just showed you from on all the different web apps. We have file download, upload, clipboard, typing on. You can enable, disable them on different applications. Going back, you now see there is a shorter scope, or there are a lot fewer options here for browser security. Um, because browser security applies across the whole Prisma Access browser in terms of what are the different extensions you want to allow, certificates you want to push, do you want to allow developer tools or not? You can define all of that through um, browser security policy. And lastly is the browser customization, where you can define what should be the theme color of the browser, brand, company logo. If you would like to change the browser icon itself on the machine, you can upload a browser icon. Um, You can differentiate on the onboarding wizard and so on. So you have a lot of different customization options available as well. Um, and you can also manage the upgrade cycle for the browser from the browser customization policy, wherein you can look for the latest version and also push for an upgrade as well at a particular day and time. So that's pretty much about Prisma Access Browser overall.